Hello and welcome everyone to Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor. My name is Linda Toden and I am here to guide you through the service today. Our speaker today is Mariette Jones. She is a licensed Unity teacher and her talk title is The Freedom of Forgiveness. Before she comes to speak, let's have a prayer. Make sure your feet are firmly planted on the ground. I am one with God's purity, perfection, and protection. I am inner divine light, which guides me at all times and in all things. I am forgiveness, opening my heart to love, gentleness, and encouragement. I am an open heart, releasing resentments and judgments. I am open to feel my feelings and surrender them to God with peace and understanding. I am the warmth radiating from my heart as I pray, blessing me and everyone around me. Forgiveness paves my way for healing and joy in my life. Luke 6:37 says, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." Amen. And now a song by Karen Taylor Good entitled "The Power to Forgive." Listen to it closely, for it is a message set to music.
To my heart, what used to be so full of light has grown so dark. Shadows of resentments and all the hurts I've ever felt. I'm on my knees, I need some help. Give me strength, this dying heart to live. Grant me power, the power to forgive. What happened to the peace I used to feel? Contentment deep inside of me. Now there's hate and anger eating at my soul. I've got to find a way to let it go. Give me strength, please help this dying heart to live. Grant me to forgive. I will not forget, but with forgiveness I just might find a way to let love in and heal my life. Give me strength, please help this dying heart to live. Grant me power, the power to forgive. Please help this dying heart to live. Grant me power, the power to forgive.
Thank you for this song, Karen Taylor Good. I could actually feel such wonderful integrity and authenticity in this song. I hope everyone else could too. It certainly was beautiful. I am always grateful to listen to Mariette Jones speak, and I happily invite her here today to speak to you, and I happily invite you to listen. Once again, her talk title is The Freedom of Forgiveness. She will be ending with a meditation and closing prayer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mariette Jones, and I'm pleased to be here speaking about forgiveness with you. So what is forgiveness? In the little booklet that Unity sends out, and actually this little booklet got sent out just recently, Nurture Your Divine Spirit. The definition of forgiveness is the act of releasing ourselves from the bondage of an ongoing negative connection. Forgiveness resurrects our peace of mind from the perils of victimhood and releases our negative judgment. Wow, that's powerful, right? So we forgive to reclaim our equilibrium. We forgive to restore our joy. So forgiveness for me is a tool I have at hand at any time to be used when I want to free myself of resentment. Do I really want to be stuck in resentment for years on end, years and years and decades, stuck in prison with negative thoughts and creating negative stuff in my life and being robbed of the joy and love and peace I could be enjoying? No, I do not have to live that way. I do not have to imprison myself. I have the key. I can let myself out at any time, and so can you. So this is the invitation for today, to free ourselves from our self-made prisons. Decide now to choose forgiveness. Think of the word forgive, to give love for a wrong or a misunderstanding. Choose now to turn the other cheek. Ooh, that's tough for the ego to wrap its head around. It is our superconscious, our divine self, that knows how to do this with ease. So we must turn within and go to our inner self that can do this. I have a little paragraph here that Emmett Fox, a spiritual teacher in the New Thought movement in the first half of the 20th century, he wrote this. This instruction about turning the other cheek refers to the changing of one's thoughts when faced by error to the truth. As a rule, it acts like magic. When someone is behaving badly, and you know this can include ourselves, right? Instead of thinking of the trouble, immediately switch your attention to the divine. Get your attention off the human and concentrate on the real spiritual self of the person in question. And you will find, if you really do this, that the conduct will immediately change. This is the secret to handling difficult people. And Jesus understood it thoroughly. If people are troublesome, you have only to change your own thought about them. And then they will change too, because your own concept is what you see. This is the true revenge. It has been tried thousands and thousands and perhaps millions of times, and it acts like clockwork. If somebody comes into the room at home or into the office or shop or anywhere, looking as if they mean to cause trouble, just try switching your attention straight off to the divine instead of sparring up aggressively to meet the difficulty or shrinking back according to your temperament. You will be amused and gratified to see the anger fade away from the subject's face, which will mean it has faded from the heart as well. And quite a different expression take its place. You may find it helpful in the beginning to glance away from the person while giving yourself this treatment. But with a little practice, you will be able, so to speak, to look through the person to the truth of being. Forgiving a person energetically opens up a space of love. And this invites the other person to accept the love and acceptance you are offering to continue on their healing journey. Becoming more whole, perhaps making amends with you, or forgiving themselves and perhaps asking you for forgiveness. So I have seen this miracle happen with my own mom. We've always had a difficult relationship, like lots of moms and daughters do. She had a difficult relationship with her mom. So quite a few years ago, I was doing some deep forgiveness work around my mother, my issues with my mother, and this was completely unknown to her. I was on a healing weekend called Adventures in Excellence. Now, this story may sound like forgiveness happened quickly, but actually I've been working on it for decades and in chunks. So lots of times when the hurt is deep, it is a process, and it's good to realize that chunk it down and do the best you can and then keep going, and we will get there. You will get there. We will all get there. So I was doing this forgiveness work because I wanted to be free. I felt crippled in my everyday life because of the hurt festering within. I felt broken. I felt the pain of rejection. I felt like if my own mother didn't love me, who could possibly love me? So there was a wound of feeling unlovable. Yes, I needed to let go of all that stuff, that toxic stuff that kept me in bondage for many, many years. So I released on that weekend angry, sorrowful, and despairing emotions with folks who stood in for my mom, and they held me and they soothed me and they listened to me, and I worked through my grief and sorrow and rage, so much rage. And I moved on. I decided to move on from my false beliefs of being unlovable, of being rejected even. I could see, once I made the decision to let go, to forgive of all that stuff, of all that I had endured, I gave love for it. I realized her perspective. I could see how she must have felt, her bewilderment, her not knowing what to do, her rage, her own woundedness. It was the first time I ever really saw things from her perspective. And it helped me a lot to see her humanness. Shortly after this powerful shift in myself, I was with her a few days later having lunch. And without prompting, she began telling me how so sorry she was for her stuff that she had inflicted on me as a kid, and how many regrets she had, and how she wished she could do it all over, and she wished she could go back in time. I was amazed at the timing. I realized that I had opened up a space for her energetically to start the journey of forgiving herself and doing her own work. So I could let her know that I had forgiven her, and that's what she needed to do, was to start the work of forgiving herself. Because in the end, it's the only thing that will free us from the inner critic, that harsh judge that will never let us off the hook. We have to make a concrete decision to let it go and not cooperate with that terrible judgment. You know, it will torment us until the day we die if we do not give ourselves the gift of forgiveness. So we need to forget about the idea of deserving. That's a judgment word. Focus on the word worth. We are worthy. We are worthy of forgiveness. We are worthy of healing. Brene Brown says, each human being is worthy of love and belonging right now as is. We say that there is nothing God cannot forgive. Well, God is here, folks, right here. So there is nothing that we cannot forgive. It is really only the ego that wishes to be judge and jury, buying into punishment and reward. The God self within knows how to forgive. So we must turn within to find the courage and compassion to let each other and ourselves off the proverbial hook. Unfortunately, we grow up with this idea that forgiveness condones the wrong that has been done, or also that we must begin trusting instantly again, or that there's no consequences or justice. You know, that's a false story about forgiveness. There is no need to condone when we forgive. It was a lot easier for me to forgive my mom when I didn't have to condone the behavior. I could start separating the behavior from the person. That's a miracle. That's a shift in consciousness. And trusting her, well, that is earned. You know, each person must earn trust. I forgave her, and I developed healthy boundaries so that we could have a healthy relationship. We have done really well and hammered out an understanding with each other, and it has been well earned. Boundaries create a safe space for both people to grow and communicate compassionately with each other. On Bravester.com, I found this. Forgiveness can change the trajectory of your life, which means you are more able to put boundaries on your relationship, particularly that one relationship that has made a victim of you. That relationship is badly in need of boundaries. Then you are free to go forth and live a braver life. And Dr. Brene Brown's research shows that boundaried people are the most compassionate people. Compassion flows from a forgiving heart. They walk together as one. I believe that there is always consequences for the way we live our life, the decisions that we make, for better or for worse. But the suffering inflicted by those consequences can be alleviated when we change our mindset. Self-forgiveness is necessary in reaching out to others to make amends. So in order to do this, we must decide to humble ourselves. This helps us regain our standing with others, realizing that in vulnerability, we can be ourselves, we can be loved, and we can build trust. Without humility, we will not allow ourselves to be forgiven, and we will not forgive. Forgiveness does not absolve anyone from personal responsibility. Each person is responsible for their own life, the level of growth they achieve, and the happiness or misery that they create in their reality. Forgiving oneself is mandatory in order to fulfill this responsibility to oneself in a healthy way. So I learned all this from my mom, and I thank her for it. I do see that forgiveness is the path to inner peace and outer peace. Forgiveness allows for a respectful dialogue and negotiation. It can stop a war within our own psyche, within a family, and among countries. Jesus was once asked, how often must I forgive? 7 times? 70 times 7, which is a way of saying infinitely, tirelessly. So forgiveness is a spiritual discipline that we must practice so that we can just always be flowing forgiveness from our heart, because it's always needed. Take a look at your life. It is always needed. Somebody is always bugging us, right? But you know what? For us to buy into somebody else's acting out of fear from their ego, treating that as if that's real, that's erroneous on our part. It's not real. And when we act out from our ego in fear, that's not real. Is that our real self? That's why we go to each other afterward and we ask for forgiveness. And we apologize and we make clear the slate and clean up our acts. It's a lot of work, and it's worth it because it creates a lot of joy, a lot of peace, and a lot of love in our lives. So forgiveness unclogs our spiritual channel and allows us to manifest the miracles we all want in our everyday lives. Miracles of restored relationships, a free and happy spirit, expressing joy no matter the condition. And, our deepest dreams, we can manifest them and make them come true when our channel is clear. How is this possible? Because we're not weighed down with all the weight of resentment and anger and bitterness. Think of that heavy load we can let go at any time we choose. So how can we practice this in a practical way? One way is the power of imagination. And remember, this is one of our 12 powers. So call on your imagination. It's your friend. Put it to good use. When you see someone in a bad light, use visualization to see the divine light within them. It is there. Look deep. When you're not happy with yourself, go to the mirror. Use your visualization to go deep into your eyes and see the Christ there. No one is ever as horrible as our ego makes them out to be. It is most often their ego acting out in fear that is causing us angst. And it is our ego that is making up the worst possible story about their actions. So choose not to believe that this is the real them. Forgiveness can be as simple as saying or as giving someone the benefit of the doubt. Just that small act, just stepping back, giving someone the benefit of the doubt is the first step in forgiving. Just letting go of our stories is a step in forgiveness. As we practice the way of forgiveness, we are allowing ourselves to be released from a terrible prison. We give ourselves a large dose of grace with an accepting, humble, and forgiving heart. We let ourselves mess up. We let others mess up. And we learn. We all learn together. The bottom line is we need to stay soft. And forgiveness brings us there. So let's just take a deep breath. I said some things that may have resonated with you. Whatever that one thing is, just call it to mind. As we move into meditation and prayer, settle yourselves in your chair and begin to become conscious of your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Calmly. It is time to pray. I acknowledge that God is present in every person and experience. The spirit of harmony, order, and understanding is at work in me now. Through my spiritual nature, I am willing to see the God presence in others and release any desire to judge. The divine spirit that dwells in each of us is greater than any disagreement. My heart fills with serenity and faith. Life is mine to live in peace, joy, and abundance. Easily, gracefully, I release the past so that I am free in this moment for all that is possible now. I trust that the helpful, useful content of my past has carried over into the present. I rest now in spiritual peace and freedom. Take a deep breath. Bring to your mind someone you know you need to forgive. Bring this person into your consciousness and say this: I fully and freely forgive you. I loose you, I let you go. I completely forgive the whole business in question. As far as I'm concerned, it's finished forever. I cast the burden of resentment upon the higher power within me. You are free now, and I am free too. I wish you well in every phase of your life. The incident is finished. The truth, universal harmony, and peace has set us both free. I thank God. So let us go into the silence with this prayer of forgiveness. we realize forgiveness now. We are so grateful. Thank you, Divine Spirit within, that helps us do all things, even the most difficult things, are easy in you, dear Spirit. We realize we are free now. We are so grateful to be free. We are so grateful for this miracle-making power of forgiveness. Amen and amen. This prayer treatment was created by Emmett Fox again. I mentioned him earlier, and you can find this on the internet. Emmett Fox. If any thought, he says, about this offense or the offender returns, simply bless that person and dismiss the thought. So just send a blessing, because sometimes that happens, right? Thoughts will come back after we've done a forgiveness treatment. So do this blessing however many times the thought may come back. As you keep blessing the person, after a few days, it will return less and less often until you forget it altogether. Be blessed, everyone, in the power of your forgiving heart. Go forth and be free.
Thank you, Mariette, for reminding us to forgive. That forgiveness is a path to peace. It is a spiritual discipline that is required if we desire peace in our lives. And miracles happen when we just let all that judgment and hatred go. Sometimes it can't happen immediately, but if we just take that first step by giving another the benefit of the doubt, a release begins, and that release grows as you work on that process. Thanks again, Mariette. That was wonderful. Mariette will be hosting conversations with the minister directly after the service today on Zoom. So please come. Just go to our website for connection instructions. And now it's time for another song, I Choose Love, written by Sue Riley and Karen Taylor Good. Once again, a beautiful message here.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Thank you, Sue Riley and Karen Taylor Good, for your beautiful music. I certainly admire your talent. You have made some beautiful music together. I would also like to thank everyone out there who continues to support this ministry with your time and generous donations of tithes and love offerings, especially during these challenging times. We could not continue to provide our programs and services without your support. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. There are several ways to donate. We accept e-transfer or PayPal, sent to unitycenterwindsor@gmail.com. You can also click the blue donate button at the top of our website, which will take you to Canada Helps, a safe and secure site where you can make a one-time or recurring donation using a credit or debit card. Or you can send a check or money order to our office. For further information, visit our website at www.unityofwindsor.org. And thank you and bless you for your loving and generous support. Here at Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor, we are exploring different ways to provide more online services, classes, and opportunities to meet virtually. Information about all of the upcoming classes and events can be found on our website at www.unityofwindsor.org. If you do not receive our weekly newsletter, please contact us and we will add you to our email list. And here we are coming to the end of our service today. I would like to thank you again for joining us. And before we close with a short prayer of gratitude and our prayer for protection, I would like to remind you of our vision, mission, and statement of being, which are found on your screen. First is our vision statement, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission statement, we inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world. And our statement of being, I am a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all. Let's open our hearts and minds in gratitude as we close by speaking out loud or silently to ourselves our love offering prayer, followed by the prayer for protection. Divine love, in me and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. Thank you everyone for coming today. Thank you Mariette Jones for a fabulous talk on forgiveness. Thank you to our musicians, Michael Karloff, Sue Riley, and Karen Taylor Good for some beautiful music. Have a wonderful week, everyone.